What's up? It's Tuesday, day number 283, ready to chop it up with Deb from Mtg. What's happening? Ladies and gentlemen, I figured I'd start it with a rap. I just got finished recording Monday's video, you see, and I was trying to be chill. I was trying to evoke a kind of a chill quality, but after I pressed stop on the recording, I was like, did that feel like I was sad? I think it might. I am a little tired. It's the end of spoiler season, but mostly I'm just kind of in a chill mood today. So with that in mind, let's continue being that. And let's look at the first card of the day, which is not a chill card at all. This is Kiri, Talented Sprout. This is 4 mana, 1 and Naya colors for a 0/3 legendary plant druid. Other plants and tree folk you control, well, they get +2/+0. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, return target plant, tree folk, or land card from your graveyard to your hand. You can get this for 25 cents. Now, at the end of yesterday, I was talking a lot about, fun magic, right? Like you come over to the house on a Saturday night with a little pizza. It doesn't have to be pizza. You know what I mean? Just bring like something cheap. Bucket of chicken, you bring some sushi. I don't care. It could be grocery store sushi. I don't care what you do. You come over on a Saturday night. I got the 6-pack. You got the food. And we're just playing fun stuff. Hey, I found this thing in my box I forgot I even had. And I just thought, it'd be a fun deck to build. I built it. So let's have some fun. This guy, this little lady, right? It's obviously a little lady. It's like top of my list for, fun commander build around Dude, I'm going to order this. Kiri, Talented Sprout. Talented Sprout. What a wonderful card. A plant druid for 25 cents. 25 cents. You get the borderless one for 40 cents and it looks sick. They've already reprinted this on the list just because they know how cool it is. They know they want you to open this in a different pack now, like a random standard pack because it's on the list and be like, oh, you're awesome. I don't know, this is great, dude. I love weird typal strategies that you don't see every day, and plants and tree folk definitely don't get enough love. And not only is it like a big anthem effect, but also this graveyard synergy is nasty. Just a really, really cool card, man. Weird that it's Naya colors. I would have probably rather been Abzan colors. Just for more tree folk, you can get Door in the Siege Tower and stuff, but it's definitely cribs. It hurts. It kneecaps what you can get, what tree folks and plants you can play, but most of them are in green anyway. When you look at it that way, and most of the creatures you're playing are in green. It's like white and red just give you options for, different supplemental stuff. So that's good. Altogether, man, really, really cool build around Commander. That gets you a ton of points around here. So I'm going to give this a 5.7. And I am not taking even a fraction of those points away. I'm serious. This is the kind of Commander I like to build around. It actually looks pretty powerful if you do so. So let's go. I like Kiri. I like its name too. Kiri, that's adorable. The next is Orzoth Signant. Okay, so we have rated Signants before. This is obviously the best one. It's Orzoth. But I think that we usually give Signants a 7 point something around 7.3 or something like that, 7.5. And I think they deserve those. Really, really good rocks here. Next is Disciple of Kanji. This is only ever printed in Planeshift. 3 mana, 2 and a white for a 2/2 human wizard. Does not look entirely like a human to me. Maybe it's wearing a mask, but anyway. You can pay a blue and tap it and have target creature gain flying and become blue until end of turn. So pretty drafty dude here, but also kind of a cubable guy. The ability to just give any creature flying until end of turn is somewhat powerful when you think about it. At least again in a limited environment. It's not that bad. Flying at will, it costs a blue, but whatever. I got a blue laying around. So altogether, it's not too bad. I'll give it a 3. Sure. Right at, Field Marshal is from Cold Snap. Weirdly, one of my favorite sets. This is 3 mana, 1 and double white for a 2/2 human soldier. Other soldiers get +1/+1 and have first strike. That's pretty good. Yeah, it actually is. This is $7 from Cold Snap and $5 from 10th edition. $6 really from 10th edition. And it probably should be. This is great. There's a lot of good soldiers out there. If you're playing, soldiers matter, obviously, this absolutely has to go into your deck. Just in the deck that it's in, that's pretty good. A 3 mana anthem effect, I think, is a little outdated, especially on a body that's so easily killed, right? It's just a 2 toughness creature. But first strike is an underrated ability. It really is. So makes up for the fact that it's 3 mana. And it's certainly no Death Baron, but I don't know. There's a lot of really relevant soldiers, and First Strike is great. So I'm going to give this like a 5 point. Just shake it out. A 5.85. Just because it's so good in the deck that it goes in. And I think it is. Next is, it's Metalwork Colossus. Nice. It's originally printed in Kaladesh. 11 mana, sort of, for a 10/10 artifact construct. Colossus costs X less to cast, where X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control. A couple of caveats in there. Sacrifice 2 artifacts to return Colossus from your yard to the hand. So you see, if you sack artifacts, it makes it a little harder to cast. Theoretically, usually you're sacrificing the tokens because the tokens don't really count towards its cost reduction anyway. So there's ways to play this card. The fact that it's non-creature artifacts, though, is it has always been a bit of a bummer. But, in Commander, you've already got like a bunch of rocks in your deck or whatever. And if you're playing specifically artifact-based decks, this becomes like somewhat playable. But the problem with Metalwork is that it's always been just like a vanilla 10/10. It will always just be a vanilla 10/10. So you can play in your artifact decks, but I actually think it'd be easy enough to find, 60 or so cards for your commander deck that are better, like 65 or so cards that are better than Metalwork Colossus in an artifact deck. But, if you still want to play it, play it. I'm not going to take that away from you. It's a fun card. It's a pretty good one, too, for the most part. If you've got the right ways, like give it trample or something, just fling it at people and then get it back and fling it again. So a lot of cool ways to play the card. Honestly, the fling thing is what I think most people do with it. But I'm going to give the MC over here. You know what? I'm going to give him a 6. I'm still, after all that, like, he's not as good as the Bubba. I'm still going to give him a 6. It's not bad. Next is Maswood Nexus. Good day for artifacts, isn't it, boy? What do we give this? This is from Kaldheim originally, which is a little older than I thought, to be honest. I don't know why, but it is. 4 mana for an artifact. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that are not on the battlefield. You can pay 3 and tap it to create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Now, we just looked at Arcane Adaptation like literally yesterday. And this is kind of that, but better. Like any deck can play it. It does cost a mana more, but any deck in the world can play it. You don't have to pick a creature type. They're just all the creature types. And like that could be easily gamed to be better than Arcane. And this one, taps to make guys, which Arcane does not do either. So just a wild Magic card. And it's only $1. This is only $1, dude. It's been a busy week too already for me ordering cards. I'm going to spend like $10 this week ordering cards. I don't even have $10. We'll make some hard decisions and order 1 or 2 of these cards, because this is only like $1.15, $1.25 right now. Modern Horizons 3 Commander, $1. Bloomborough Commander, $1. I think it's definitely worth it if you don't already own a Maswood. This is a really good Magic card that I am about to staple a 7.3 to. I am so serious. Maswood's really good, guys. And I don't think I'm going to meet with too much argument in the comment section. This card is great. But let's move on to Davros, Dalek Creator. Can't go a week without a Doctor Who card. This is a 4 mana. No, we've done this one. Ha ha ha. I don't have to do this. Blazing Root Walla is up next from Modern Horizons. Dose. This is a single red mana for a 1/1 lizard. It has Madness 0, and you can pay a red to have Root Walla get +2/+0 till end of turn. Activate only once each turn. So it's a Basking Root Walla, but better. I don't know if everybody knows Basking Root Walla. It was in the old Madness decks. It's basically, this, but it doesn't have the fire breathing ability, more or less. So you get a little guy, but he's free. You discarded him. And that card was legendary. People love that little guy. This, I think, came around at a time where this deck isn't very important. It's like no version of this deck is important, right? But I still say it's possible to maybe play this guy in Commander if you have a deck that discards enough cards. He's a guy. He's taking up a slot, and he probably shouldn't. But he's still a really, really cool design. He's a good design. This is obviously a decent Magic card. I don't think I have to sell you on that too hard. Like a 0 mana guy is usually good. Mimnite is good. Is that the card? Am I thinking of the right card? 0 mana 1/1 artifact guy. Anyway, decent little magic card here that, you know, cribs off of an already decent magic card with a pedigree. So I'm always going to like stuff like this. And second time this week, I'll say good cube card. It's not a bad cubable, but I will give this like a 4.4, which is probably too high if we're just rating on casual commander. But, you know, I just think in terms of design, it's a solid guy. It is. But next is Repel the Darkness from Rise of Eldrazi. This is 3 mana, 2 and a white for an instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures and draw a card. Not great. It's just not good. Are you playing this in your commander deck? I don't think so. If you're going to play a 3 mana cantrip, you can do better, trust me. So I'm going to give this a 2.2. Right in there. Draw a card's always a good line of text on an instant, but you can do a lot better. Trust me. You can, honey. Next is it's Muscle Sliver. This is originally printed in Tempest and a bunch of other sets, but Tempest is the way I like it, baby. I guess this one, you know, the Friday Night Magic one is slick. This foil one right here, it's gross. $25 for that. God, this is 2 mana. 1 on a green for a 1/1 sliver. All slivers get +1/+1, so including him. So it's a grizzly bear. It's a 2 mana for a 2/2, but it's also an anthem effect for all your slivs. Sick. Absolutely sick. If you build any slivers deck, he's got to be there. He has to. You can't not include the guy. There are a bunch of slivers you cannot put in your slivers deck in this day and age. We're about to get Thrumming Hivestone, so you probably have to kick another sliver out of your deck. You know what I mean? It's like there are slivers you don't play. This guy is not one of them. You play this man. So I'm going to give this dude, it's a typo kind of week, baby. You know, it's just like creature types matter all day and all yesterday. I'm going to give this, I'm going to give this a 6.2, you know, with of course the understanding that that's in the slivers deck. You know, usually when I rate a creature that cares about its own type or whatever, like it does something to pay off its own type, I do so with the understanding like this is in this deck. You're not going to play it anywhere else anyway. But next, we will look at Hell's Thunder. Hell's Thunder sounds like an AC/DC song. Shards of Alara originally printed. 3 mana, 1 and double red for a 4/4 elemental with flying and haste. At end of turn, sacrifice Hell's Thunder. All right, you can unearth it for 4 and a red. So we're trying to ball lightning here. We're trying to be a little ball lightning variant. Instead of trample, I have flying. So, you know, you don't have to worry about it getting blocked as much at all. That's kind of good. And you can unearth it. You can't unearth the ball lightning, can you? Can't do that. You know, this is all week. I feel like it's been a week of good cube cards. You know, you're building a fun cube that with cards no one's ever heard of. You know, like we've got some definite options here this week, especially just today alone. But Hell's Thunder is a cool card. I'm gonna give this a 3.8. You know, I think it's a neat little like version of an effect. They print a ball lightning every like 4 sets now, and then in Foundations they were like, screw it, we'll just reprint ball lightning. Thanks, finally. No one's gonna play it. Nobody does. Still fun. We should do a deck on stream one night that's like only cards you could have played in 1998. You know, to play the Ball Lightnings and the Sarah Angels and stuff. Like we should try to make that work. Next is Eye for an Eye. This is from Arabian Nights originally. $30 from that set because it's from one of the big 4. You know, if you want it from Revised, it costs $1.33. This is an instant for 2 white mana. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, instead that source deals that much damage to you, and Eye for an Eye deals that much damage to the source's controller as well. So, okay, it's pretty bad. It's not even reverse damage, and reverse damage is bad nowadays. So, it's also kind of like offensive. Honestly, I hate to be that guy, right? That friend, but like it is a little weird. This is, but anyway. All that notwithstanding, I'm going to give the card a 2. I'll give it a 2. Sure. You know, like, I don't think it's no, it probably is like a 1. You know what I mean? It is probably kind of a 1-ish kind of thing. You're not going to actually play this, but I don't know. If somebody tries to throw a huge fireball at you or so, which is what it was meant for back in the day. Somebody tries to throw a huge fireball at you. Well, then, you know, you take the damage too. I guess like an old school white weenie deck might play this. Like even if they just try to bolt you, you're like, okay, I'll take 3. You take 3 too, you know? Trying to count to 20 faster than you. I guess it helps, but it doesn't, because if you're holding up 2 mana for an eye, that's, you didn't play a creature on your turn or something. That's not good. Altogether, the card is pretty bad. I'll stick with it too. It's not very good. Next is Plains. This would be our bonus card for the day, by the way. It's Torrent of Stone from Betrayers of Kamigawa. 4 mana, 3 and a red for an arcane instant that deals 4 damage to a creature. And you can splice onto arcane by sacrificing 2 mountains. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? As you play an arcane spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its splice cost. If you do, add this card's effect to that spell. So you play an arcane spell, and you can, without actually casting this card, simply by sacking 2 freaking mountains, which is pretty steep cost, you can also blow up a creature without having, again, to actually play the card. This, I think, could be fun in your arcane deck, but who does that? Who does that? I've used the pizza on a Saturday night analogy a couple of times this week too, and this is one of those where I'd let you in. We could play with the arcane deck, and I might even be like, ooh, an arcane deck, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to build the deck. So I'm going to give this card 3. It's still a removal spell. But that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Bye.